Welcome back everybody to the only list on the internet where you can find both Lorna Shore and Lana Del Rey on a top 50 songs of the year list. This is my favorite video to make. This is this year also the only video I managed to make, but I still wanted to do something for year-end season because this is always my favorite thing to do. I love being able to showcase new music to new listeners. So if there's anything that catches your attention, I hope you enjoyed. There is no way you are going to listen to me talk about 50 songs, and I also don't want to talk about every song for the amount of time that I could. So what we're going to do is I will play you the first 30 songs in a short little montage. You can pick your favorites, you can see what some of my picks are, and then starting with the top 20, I will be giving you some of my thoughts on these songs. But with that being said, without further ado, here's number 50.
Everyone goes colored blue. Yes, it might be my point of view. Everything I see reminds me of you, of you, of you. I don't believe your speech. I don't believe your prayer. I don't believe you listening. I don't believe it. 'Cause all that I remember are golden chains draped on your just like the ice in a desolate soil. Drink the sun in my blood. Someone better stop. Bound to follow my shadow. I can let go on a broken halo. Lead me out of here. Full moon. You wanna break out, baby? Welcome to my world. Rock me crazy, high until we burn. Sun is pouring rain. A sun is pouring down the acid rain. Watch me unravel, tangled in the thoughts of the tide. Silence in the shadows. Stay up till 2 tonight to try to talk to you. I'm well away in yesterday and on the way you're calling. Love me down. It's my first time on no seatbelts. Like a rock star, don't kill me. I'm gonna get off every time you get me down. Like a rock star, remember when you said that you would die for me? Walk through the fire, burn it out for me. Took it outside, deep blood, and now we don't even speak. Pouring the blood on the tree. And refuse to start a play for me. Swallow poison, swallow sugar. Sometimes they taste the same. So join the parade, turn that frown upside down. While you're screaming in pain, I'll be laughing out loud. I know all too well just what you're like. I don't want your love, I just wanna fight. I tend to think in feathers. My mood, it swings like the weather. But on the hospital floor. Do you ever feel so alone?
as you've probably seen with these last 30 picks, there is a lot of different influences visible on this list. There are so many different artists that have been featured on this channel before or haven't been featured on this channel before, and I really love showcasing all of their music, which is also true for case number 20, the 20th best song of the year, which is going to be NOVA by the Nova Twins. One of my personal favorites. I've been talking about the Nova Twins on this channel for a while, and I've always said that what they're doing is incredibly special, and this song is absolutely in that same category. You have incredible bass work, such a motivational anthem. I've seen this one live and it absolutely slaps. I really enjoyed this cut of their newest album, which is also great.
What's the name, bitch? Say your name. What's the name, bitch? Say your name. What's the name, bitch? Say your name. Or you bitches say F-O-B.
Switching genres completely for our number 19 spot, we have Julian Baker and Torres with the Americana country-inspired Storyteller Tuesday, which is this story about a young woman in love with another woman and how she deals with struggles in her faith, struggles with the family of the person she's dating, and how their views reflect onto her, how she's forced to deny her love to her. And I really love the perspective that this takes, the new spin on country and Americana music, and it's one of my favorite storytellers of the year.
How I wish that I hadn't stepped down in light when I acted like it was nothing to me.
Coming in at number 18 is a song that is pretty long. It's, I think, like 8.5 minutes. Starts out with a wonderful slow piano, and then we build slowly over the verses to a huge indie crescendo, beautiful double vocal performance of Monsters and Men on their song Fruitbat, which features a very beautiful instrumental ending that is very long drawn out, but it works so well on this song, especially because the first part of the song makes you so emotional and really gives you something to think about. The instrumental section at the end of the song then really lets you simmer in that, and I think it's beautifully produced and one of my favorite indie cuts of the year.
Somewhere in the dead of night, we're like Bunny and the Redhead. I need something you don't seem to need.
Again, changing genres completely for our number 17 pick. We're gonna go to The Sky, the Earth and All Between, which is the new record by Architect. And that opening song on there is one song to behold. It comes around with such a force. I really appreciate the slow electronic opening, and then we open with the comparatively for Architects really slow start, and especially with all of the history of the band in the last couple of songs, you might think that this is going to be a slow song and already are on the train of, oh no, what are they going to do with this album? What are fans going to say about this album? And then they drop the album title and we immediately get one of the heaviest cuts in a song that we've heard this year. Funnily enough, this is not the only metalcore song that did this year, dropping the album title in a slow way and then immediately going into a heavy breakdown. We also got that from another song that we will see later on this list, but it is so well done on this song. It features Architects at their best with incredible guitar work, an incredible vocal performance. And when I heard that song, I was so convinced and sold for this new Architects album, which is great too.
'Cause I gave you all the part of me. I found you at the murder scene. You questioned my integrity again.
One of the songs that I've heard while making this list and then appreciated a lot and came onto this list is coming in here at number 16, I believe, which is Music by Men by Florence and the Machine, and it is a wonderful storyteller. I do think that what Florence does here is so interesting because there are so many triumphant moments on this album. There are so many beautiful feminist messages that she portrays on Everybody Scream. But for this song, we take a step back on both the instrumental and also the vocal level. We strip back a bit to let the story and the lyrics really shine, and they do shine with some of my favorite lyrics of the year when she talks about her past partner and how she tried to save a relationship, going to couples therapy, but that person on the way to couples therapy puts their headphones in because they didn't want to talk to her. So many layers, so many beautiful lyrical images, but also that slow hope that she always portrays throughout the song with this almost desperate cry for let it be us, let it be home, Give Me This Love That I'm Longing For really makes you emotional, and that entire song is just a beautiful masterpiece.
I know how to fall in love, I do it easily. I fall in love with everyone I meet for 10 minutes at least.
For the number 15 spot, we have the first team up that I get to talk about, which is Spanish Love Songs featuring Kevin Devine on their new, very short but very impressive EP, and the song is going to be Cocaine and Lexapro. The song is very short, it deals with a lot of mental health struggles and this general feeling that Spanish Love Songs somehow always manage to portray of this hopelessness, but also a little cheekiness. I really find it hard to put into words. They've made some of my favorite music. No Joy was my favorite album of 2023, and this new release that we've gotten from them is also on par with that album. Kevin Devine works beautifully with the feature here, and also lyrically, this is something that I also want to point out, because this whole problem's not a problem till you call it by name, pilot's still a pilot till he crashes the plane bit is very interesting. And then upon hearing it for the first time, when they switch it in the second chorus and say, who gives a fuck about landing, that just impersonates this entire attitude of the band really well, this one short moment. And I think that can be seen on the entirety of the song. And I really think it's one of the best Midwest emo song, probably the best emo song of the year.
Pilot's still a pilot till he crashes the plane. Have the self-control of a universe expanding. Who gives a fuck about landing?
For this next pick, we're going to have to pick up the energy to like 1,000, because this is a song that I've heard live this year, I think twice, from one of the most interesting acts in rock and metal that has come out in the last couple of years. Probably the best live act that has come out of this era. And I'm talking, of course, about House of Protection, which released a fantastic record this year, Outrun You All. Basically, any song off of that record could be on the spot, but I personally chose I Need More Than This, because I think that the hook on that song, the chorus, the combination of the electronic elements, the energy that is portrayed on here, driving drums, incredible guitar work, vocals are perfect. Everything about this song screams energy, and it is by far one of the most energetic songs of the year. For number 13 spot, we're going to go to a band who released an epic album this year, who I know that a lot of people, especially in the rock and metal community, have a lot of love for, while critics outside, such as Anthony Santana, for example, don't have a lot of love for. I'm of course talking about Sleep Token, who after their massive success in 2023 came back this year with Even in Arcadia, and there are many songs on that album that could deserve to be on a list such as this. I personally think that Emergence is the best song off of that album. It was the first taste that we got for it. The repeating arms around me bit and how it breaks down, but also the wonderful vocal performance in the chorus. Everything about this song, the slow build up, the outro, the fantastic, I think it's a saxophone outro at the end. Everything about this song screams classic Sleep Token to me, and I really, really love it. What do you do when you part ways with your vocalist and your fanbase has no idea what to expect of you for their new record? Well, what I Prevail decided to do is drop the heaviest song of their entire discography, with Eric now taking over all vocal duties, which he does very well on all parts of that album. But on this song, he just screams, and this is a metalcore song with so many inspirations, from like all the way over to deathcore, some hardcore inspirations. That main riff is one of my favorites this year. The crushing vocal performance by Eric is incredible, and this cut is one of the angriest of the year. So if you felt anger this year, I can highly recommend Violent Nature to you, because goddamn, that song is incredibly violent. This next pick is another title track for a metalcore album, which is The Darkest Place I've Ever Been by Landmarks. And just like with the Architects one, we start out very slowly. We start out with the sung version of the album title, slow stripped back instrumentation, and as soon as we drop the album title, it switches like that in an instant. We have the instrumentation ramped up from 0 to 100. Vocal performance goes from like a slow melodic to an incredible scream. And I really love that song, not only for this huge switch up, but we get basically everything that we have on the entirety of the album encapsulated in this one song here. We have a slow melodic parts, we have rapping, we have incredible breakdowns, we have great instrumentation, French. Everything that you have on this year's Landmarks album is somehow present in that song, and for me it's the best one off of the record. Except for Creature, of course, but that released last year and was on last year's list, so you know.
Landmarks 2025. From the nightmares and monsters I have seen, it's the darkest place of me.
Starting off the top 10, we've talked about her in this video, I think already twice, and here she is beating out numerous metal bands on the channel of a person who talks mostly about rock and metal. Lana Del Rey coming in once again to start the top 10 off. I think she did the same last year or the year before that with A&W back then, and now she's here with the first look at her new album, which is going to release next year, Henry Come On, which has such a wonderful storytelling aspect to it. The vocal performance here is probably my favorite of the year. The slow build-up through the entire song is fantastically done. I really love the lyrical moments on this cut as well. From front to the back, just a perfect Lana Del Rey song, and she's done it again. It's beautiful.
And it's not because of you that I turned out so dangerous.
Now this next cut really surprised me when creating this list, because I have never been a huge fan of this band, but then they dropped a song this year that really surprised me by how comparatively heavy it was, how much emotion I could hear in the chorus. The drums are incredible. I am talking about Drum Show by 21 Pilots, a band that I've not been a huge fan of. I didn't dislike them or anything, but they just never really convinced me until I heard this performance by them. Drum Show is an incredible song. The theme is really, really poignant. The drum work on Drum Show is incredible. It has sort of like a breakdown, or whatever a breakdown version for 21 Pilots song is. And the vocals almost go into like a screamy thing at the end, which is incredible for 21 Pilots, but it's just so much emotion that is on display here. And despite me not thinking that I would ever put a 21 Pilots song on any of my lists, I really, really had to give this one number 9 on this list because it's impressed me so deeply.
He's putting on a drum show. Even now, even now, even now, he'll take the longer way home. Even now, even now, even now, he'll never ever say so.
There are some bands that I listen to that whenever they release something, I'm almost sure that it's gonna end up on some place off of this list. And one of these bands is Twin Atlantic, who this year released a single song called Salvation. And that is one of their best songs to date. I really love the electronic influences on this, especially in the chorus, the synths that they use to basically work with the Salvation call out. It has one of the catchiest choruses of the year. The Scotsmen have done it again. The song is incredible. It's also going in a very interesting direction because while I felt like the last album went back to their earlier roots of like Great Divide with some hard rock elements, this song really combines the like rock elements off of that album with the electronic elements off of an album like Power, which was one of my favorite albums back in 2020. So I really, really look forward to seeing what they're going to be doing with this type of sound next year.
Salvation. Take me to the top. Take me to the top. The shoulders of my nation.
This next song is off of one of the most interesting kind of projects of the last couple of years, which is like the whole idea behind the Ampersand albums, EPs by Dan from Bastille, where he takes inspiration from stories that have either actually happened or fictitious stories such as Adam and Eve or Romeo and Juliet. We've had so many iterations of that. so many interesting stories that have been retold through his music. And in this song, Bathsheba and Him, we take a look back all the way to the book of Samuel from the Bible. We see the very brutal and, at the time, not the fall of the man, normalized type of assault that we see on Bathsheba. And the story through her eyes, what's really greatly portrayed in this song is the anger that she feels towards the men who did this to her. Fantastic cut, incredible chorus, one of the catchiest of the year. But what really turns this song apart from all of the other Bastille songs who released this year, who also are great, is really the lyrical content and how well it is handled on this song.
When you came and you took what you wanted, you're the kind of motherfucker that will always get your way. Yeah, you just came and you took what you wanted.
At the number 6 spot, we have one of my favorite instrumental moments of the year. I do think that the guitar work on this song is one of the best that we've seen this year. I do believe that we also see a fantastic vocal performance here, but that's always a given with White Lies, and also on this song, All the Best. I don't think it was even released as a single, which is crazy to me, but the singles are all also really good. But what sets this song apart for me is the triumphant eruption in the chorus that kind of slightly contradicts with the lyrics. I mean, it's open to interpretation the way that you want to see it. There is, of course, the triumph in this repeated, I'm not your boy, I'm not influenced by you anymore. But what we do see the narrator in that song tell is that he still struggles with a lot of these things. So while there is some triumph in that, there's also a somber note, and I really love this song for portraying that on the musical side as well. Instrumentation, absolutely top notch, but it's also one of my favorite vocal performances by White Lies that we've gotten this year. I've teased it earlier and now it's here. This is a top 10 that features Lana Del Rey as well as Lorna Shore coming in at number 5 with Glenwood. Where else on the internet can you find a list that features both Lana Del Rey as well as Lorna Shore? And this Lorna Shore song is incredibly emotional. We of course knew that they were able to pull this off. I mean, the Pain Remains trilogy remains one of the most hauntingly beautiful things that has ever come out of the genre of deathcore. In 2022, Lorna Shore were my album of the year and my song of the year. And while I don't necessarily agree with that 100% now, it's still one of the best albums of the year. And I really, really love everything that they've done on this song. Lyrics depicting the estrangement that Will Ramos had with his father are so well matched by the orchestral arrangements in this deathcore song, which is a crazy statement. Everything that's heavy about this song is placed at the exact right moment. Everything that's soft about this song, that's not a lot, but everything that is really well incorporated into the whole narrative of the song. I think that what also sets this apart is that the lyrics that Will wrote for this are so deeply personal. If you're interested in this and the story, how he reconnected with his father, how he worked the pain that he felt being estranged from his father into that song, I highly recommend watching the YouTube video for this song, the music video, because at the very end of that music video, Will is sitting there with his actual father and talking about how he returns to the family, basically. And if that's not going to bring a tear to your eye, then I don't know what will.
Take me home.
This next cut has one of the best feel-good energies of the year. Instrumentation is absolutely wonderfully done. We're talking about the ensemble here, so many different musicians, so many different influences, so many different instruments on this song alone. And of course, what other band could do it as well as Black Country New Road on this new song, Salem Sisters. I think that it's one of the most interesting lyrical things that they've done this year. I think it's definitely the best vocal performance that we've gotten from them this year, which says a lot because everything on this album is absolutely top notch. Salem Sisters to me is a personal favorite because I do love the build up that we have with the small eruption, I don't know, it's not an eruption in the sense of like a metalcore song or a deathcore song, but it's this like long build up that goes into one of the most like freeing choruses. Somehow like the energy that's built up throughout the entirety of the song and that feeling that they portray with you emerges onto a higher plane of existence when they go on this. I'm hyping this song up a lot, but I do think that it is one of the most interesting cuts of the year, and I am a sucker for Black Country New Road and how they managed to make music feel back on their last album with how emotional and dark it was, but also on this album by how emotional and happy it was and feel good energy. And there is truly only a few songs that I think can match that energy in this year.
Creeps up to me. Oh, as the leaves bend and breathe.
Taking home the bronze medal is my favorite storyteller of the year, the last storyteller of this list, and what is also probably my favorite lyrical moment of the year. A song that really dissects what it means to grow up as a woman in this society, how your own desires often conflict with what society expects of you, how you have that desire to just play it out, to just see where it goes, but then being denied the option to go back and do certain things. Like one of the main things that the protagonist struggles with in this song is whether she wants to have children or not, but she also doesn't just want to grow up and look sexy on a man, but wants to make something off of her own. And this whole transience theme, this whole theme of dealing with time from this feminist perspective with fantastic lyrics such as Just Watch Me Build Castles in the Hourglass Sand, is what makes Play It Out by Wolf Alice my favorite lyrical moment of the year. To add to that is, of course, a fantastic vocal performance and stellar instrumentation. Easily one of my favorite cuts of the year.
Oh, the world broke the cradle with a babeless end. Just watch me build castles in the hourglass sand. I'm still here screaming in the void from the empty breath in my mind. I didn't put it there. Was some motherfucker's plan.
As a whole, that last entry was my favorite lyrical moment of the year, but my favorite lyric of the year is actually from this song, and it is a lyric that goes, become a slave to the free market where you pick up the gun or become the target. And this is of course from the song Brainrot by Grandson. I think that if we look back on 2025 in like 10 or 20 years, Brainrot is definitely going to be one of the words used to describe this year. And what he does so well on this song is tie in all of the different battlefields that society has had this year, all of the different problems that we as a society have encountered and still encounter to this day, like a rise in fascism, fascist ideologies, but also struggles over the internet, everything that's been happening in Gaza, the genocide. It's incredibly how much he manages to encapsulate in this one song. And it is, like his new slogan, the soundtrack to a revolution. It's so Rage Against the Machine adjacent. The instrumentation is so hardcore adjacent. It's so beautifully done. Mix is incredible. Granson's vocal performance is as good as it has ever been. Everything about this song is basically the Granson that I've always wanted to see and that we have seen in the past before, but he really perfected his sound on this new album and on this song specifically.
Welcome to the hell we're living in. At the ending of the world we're witnessing. You can cry for help, no one's listening. No one's listening.
2025 has been a year, and while there are many things that have happened, very many negative things that have happened this year, there were a lot of moments of joy and a lot of moments of happiness in this year for me. And there was one song that I really, in my head, always associate with these feelings. And that's a song that wasn't even a single from this year's The Beths album, and it's the song Till My Heart Stops. This is a song about falling in love with life. I want to ride my bike in the rain, even though it's going to be cold. I want to feel the rain on my skin. Not that song, but everything about this song is so beautiful. It is so hopeful. despite everything that's happening. It is such a powerful moment on the narrative of the album especially, but also removed from the entire context of the album. Just this looking forward, looking up, seeing the little moments, falling in love with life again, and no song made me feel more hopeful, more joyful to be alive this year than Till My Heart Stops by The Beths. And I hope that some of the songs that I've shown you in this video also get to do that for you. So here's the last one that I want to share with you.
Hey, I wanna ride my bike in the rain. I wanna fly my kite in a hurricane. I wanna float at the top. I wanna dance till I drop. I wanna love till my heart stops.
That's it for this video. I do hope that you found some songs on this list that are going to make your 2026 a happier year of music. I hope you discovered some new favorites. If you do, let me know in the comments. And if there are some songs on here that you felt like were missing, that you feel like it would have been perfectly with all of the other things, feel free to let me know in the comments and share your suggestions. I hope you all have a great time, and see you in the top 25 albums video in a couple of days. Bye.